Okay guys, in this video you're going to explore the file integrity checking. So before that you have to know what is an integrity is. So every file should have an integrity. Have you heard of the integrity? So here I just opened the mousepad. Okay, so let me first create a directory so that it might be good for you to understand. Let's name this directory as integrity and let's move on to that particular directory. Inside that I am just going to create a file. So have you heard of the CIA triad? The confidentiality, integrity, availability. The I in the CIA is what we are going to talking about, the integrity in the lab demo. So first I am just going to create an file called anything like, let me create the file as cyberark, right? So that's our channel name. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. So yeah, cyberark is our channel name. So cyberark is a file that we created right now. So what I'm going to do, this file is actually empty, right? You know it, right? So every file should have an hash which is used to verify its integrity. So you are going to learn that in this video. So first let's check the hash of this empty file. So even if this file doesn't contain any contents, still it contains hash, the integrity, right? So let's use the MD5 sum to generate the MD5 hash. So and the file name. Once you enter this, you can see the hash of this particular file. Cyberark is the file name and the hash of this particular file is this. This is the MD5 hash of this particular file name. So how we can verify the integrity? So if you save this as the integrity, is this as the hash of this particular file name, if something happens into the file, the whole hash is going to change. So let me open this cyberark in the mousepad. So as you can see from this mousepad itself, the file that you're going to see right now does not include any contents. So by clicking here, you can see this is the cyberark, which will be in the integrity cyberark. So there is no content in this particular file, right? So let's add some contents like 1 2 3 4, and I'm just saving that, right? So I just added some contents to this empty file. So at the time this particular file was empty, this is the hash. So now I'm just going to check the hash by using the same command. You can see the difference between that is the hash, that there is a difference in the hash, right? So this MD5 hash shows the difference, right? So even if you add a single character or any character or do a single kind of modification in this particular file, the whole hash is going to change, which makes people knows that this particular file has lost the integrity. So every file should have an hash to verify the integrity. We can use tools like MD5 sum or SHA-256 sum or some other tools available for that too. So let's use another tool called the SHA-256 sum and let's check the integrity. Using the cyberark, you can see this is the SHA-256 sum, which has more characters than what you see in the MD5 hash. This is how the SHA-256 hash looks like. So this is the SHA-256 sum of this particular file called the cyberark. So now we know that this particular file has 1 2 3 4 in it, right? So what I'm going to do is to do a slight modification by adding 1. Okay, and I'm just saving that. Now you can see we have just added only 1. Okay, so after saving that, what I'm going to do is to check the SHA-256 sum, and you can see the difference between that. Before that, this cyberark file has 1 2 3 4. After changing a little by just adding only 1, so the whole hash is changed, right? So this is about integrity. Like what happens if a file is modified, the whole hashes is going to change, which you can just verify using tools like this MD5 sum or SHA-256 sum and wide variety of other tools available there. So you can just use these kinds of tools to verify the integrity of the file. So for example, let me show you one more thing from the Nessus website. When you try to download a file from Nessus, let's go there. So here, let's search for download Nessus. So I'm just searching for download Nessus. Now you can see the tenable website of Nessus. Download page is here. So from here in this particular web page, you can see this is the 10.12.1 is the Nessus version, which has an option for checksum, right? So checksum hash the hashes that we can use to verify the integrity. So I'm just clicking this download button and downloading this Nessus file, and the Nessus file is now downloading into my machine. right? So you can see the hashes here. So this is the original hash, this is the original MD5 hash of this particular file, and this is the SHA-256 hash, and this is the SHA-512 hash. So you can verify the integrity by comparing this hash. If you download this particular file, so this is traveling through the internet and downloading into your computer. If somebody called the man in the middle is doing some stuff in between you and the download, so if this particular file is modified, then you can verify that using this checksum like the hashes. So we just downloaded that, right? So here you can see we just downloaded that. So let me delete the useless files from here. So here it is. So now we have this nesses file. Okay, so what I'm going to do is opening the terminal, and now what I'm going to do is checking the MD5 hash using the MD5 sum command. Now you can see this is the MD5 hash of the file. Let's verify that from here. So I just copy the MD5 hash from the browser, like from the official website of Nessus, right? So the Tenable Nessus. Now we can just compare these both hashes. These both hashes seems to be same. That means nothing modified in this particular file, right? So you can just verify like that using other hash types like the SHA-256. By entering SHA-256 sum, you can see this is the hash. So let's verify that from here. So here is our SHA-256 hash, right? So here it is, right? So both seems to be same. Like that, you can just verify any of the hashing format to confirm that if it is legitimate or not. So yeah, let me show you that also, like the SHA-512. Okay, so this is how it looks like. So I'm just pasting this. So both seems to be right, same, right? So now this particular file is not modified. You were able to understand you by checking the hash, right? So what if somebody modifies in between? Then this particular file is going to change, right? So now let's open this downloads. Okay, now let's use exif tool and add some this. You can see this is the exif details available. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add some exif data into this particular file. So let me check the help menu. So here I think I can use the manual. So here I have the manual. So we have to add some exif data to that particular file. So that is what I'm just going to do. So I just forgot the command to add this particular content into this exif commands into this particular file. So if you are like me, like everyone forgets things, right? So yeah, so instead of reading this long, so you can just use AI tools, right? So let's search for how to add exif data to a file using exif tool. So now you have the Google results like exif tool, the tag name equal to value, the file name, right? So an example like this, right? So yeah, let's add some data like this into that particular file. Okay, so which will be in the downloads, right? So let me clear that out first. So now I'm just going to do is adding this data called the comment, something like this. Okay, and adding this to the Nessus, and writing this is not supported 0. So in this case you have to only upload in this image. So let's how to add, search for how to add exif data to a .deb file. So .deb is the extension of the file that we currently downloaded. So we usually add contents using the image, right? So you cannot add exif data to a .debian file. So because .debian files are Debian software package, not media files, you can only add exif data into the image files. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind. So this is how basically we research contents, understand the concepts, right? So if you I'm just not going to cut any of this part of this particular video, because this is how the research works, this is how ethical hackers research, and this is how people search for that. You can only add the data into an image, right? So that's the thing that you learned right now, right? So other than that, how can we change or modify this particular file? So I'm just extracting this. Now I just extracted, so extracted file has now some contents, right? So now let me click the create archive option. So here we don't have a .dbn option for that. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to first just going to convert this, copying this and pasting it here. So this is the copy, right? So what I'm going to do right now is to create an archive. So .zip, okay, .zip is the archive that I'm creating. So I'm just creating the zip file. So I'm just converting that particular thing into zip. So here it is, right? So like that, I'm just converting this to this also to the zip file. Okay, so let me convert this into the zip file by clicking here. So now you can see it's converting this into the zip file. So now these both files are in the zip file, right? So now let's open the terminal and list that content. Now let's check the hash, like the MD5 hash of a particular file, so this zip file. So here we can see, so the zip file is in this particular color. So here it is, so our zip file. Let me check the hash of this file. Okay, so and here we have the hash, and we can also check the hash of another file. So let's do that. Okay, so this is the original dbn file. So let me delete that to avoid confusion. So here is the original zip file. Let me delete this. Let me delete these useless files. So now we can list that once more. Now we have the zip file and their file name. So now let's run that out, like MD5 sum and the file name. And now we can see both files should have a different hash, right? So what if you add some characters into this, right? So this has now you can see the copy, right? So this is the original file. So now I'm just going to add something into it, right? So like I'm just adding an empty folder, nothing other than that, and I'm just going to create an archive. So now the file name will change, right? So I'm just going to delete this, and now I'm just going to creating the archive in zip file. And now it's creating. So now we have the file by listing. So now let's check the same. So now you can see the hash is changed, right? So like that you will be able to identify the changes in the hash. Okay, so inside this zip file, if something happens, everything can be understood, right? So if you try to extract this again, the hash should be different. Let me check if that is correct. I'm just deleted that particular zip, and I just converted this into hash again, and the hash seems to be same, right? So what happens here is now you can understand that there is a zip file. Okay, so in this case the zip file has this particular hash. If you change your file name, then the whole hashes will change. Okay, in this case I'm just not going to change any file name. I'm just deleting this, and I'm just adding something into this particular file, like one, right? So I'm just saving that, and now I'm just converting this into the zip file. Okay, so if nothing changes, if no changes happened in this particular file, the hash should be changed same, right? So but in this case the we changed some values inside that. Now the entire hash was changed. So we can verify integrity using this mechanism. I hope you understand that concept. Like before that there is new empty file also there, so the hashed should be the same one, right? So what I done is just added a content inside the new empty file called one. So and after that I converted into the zip file, and now you can see if some little thing happened into a particular file, the whole hashes is going to change. This is how you can verify the hashes in real life. So I hope you understand the concept. So that's pretty much about it, guys. Don't forget the subscribe button. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.